Edition of the Business Power Hour with Darren, Dimples, and the Music Man. Me. Hey, Dimps.
Hey, Mr. Music Man. How you doing this evening?
What's going on?
How are you?
Well, good. What's up? Two ladies. This is true story. These two ladies at a network meeting came over to me, and he said, "Your show was really good, but we missed Dimples." Good evening, everybody. I just got the finger from Jim.
It's all part of the story.
Right.
Hey everybody, it's Darren from the Business Power Hour. I'm not going to be in the studio tonight. I'm traveling.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Business Power Hour with Darren and the Music Man, except Darren's not here.
I'm here.
No, I'm
I'm
right
right here.
Does anybody see that? Darren is not here. Darren is away.
I am right here, right
Be quiet
next
for
to
a
you.
second. You're not here. What? I don't know if you got lucky.
Not the
Really interesting question.
That's a fantastic question, Norman.
Wow. See, I got fantastic. You just got good. I got fantastic.
show's about him, so let's focus on that. Were you drinking before the show?
Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus.
There we go. We got it.
It's good.
No, it's
Now we got to
There you go. Okay.
smother it.
So, I think he has a music thing.
It's making noise.
It's making music.
Is it?
Yeah. That's so sweet. That's so sweet of you, Darren.
By the way, this is a Yankee station.
It's a
Thank
Yankee
you.
station. John,
Thank you.
it's a Yankee station.
All right.
Unfortunately,
We got bugs in here. What's going on?
I don't know.
Do you spray? Get an
It's
exterminator?
that time of year where you're getting bugs and stuff. As long as we don't have bees, I'm good.
Yeah, all right. That's
But
We have a lot of undulations out in the field. Undulations.
Is that a wine? What the hell is undulation?
Fred, don't use big words. Yeah, right? So this.
Help.
I gotta give him a cough button, Jim. What do you think?
Cough button would
Because-
be a good idea. Consider that a good question that he asked?
Great
There you go.
question.
There's
There
a
you go.
good
I got
question.
one.
Pythons and brains.
You're double D?
I'm double D. Show's about him, so let's focus on that.
We are. Hey, give me some. Give me some loving.
How are you, Music Man?
Hello, Darren. How are you?
I'm fantastic. I'm
this week.
absolutely convinced. I'm absolutely convinced that
telling
you
you.
got some kind of brain damage when you had that thing last year.
I'm telling you that, and he called. And
Not classy, but classic.
Seeing interviews by Darren and the Music Man. Ladies and gentlemen, Darren Siafe and Norman Wasserman.
let's do this. Yeah. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Business Power Hour with Darren and the Music Man. Darren is sitting on the other end of Long Island in Suffolk County, and I'm on the opposite end. And here we are
What do you
together.
mean? You're not on the opposite end. You're on the north. You're on the
Zoom.
south shore. I'm on the north shore.
Yeah, we are. We have to fix this a little bit.
We got a what?
There we go. That's what I like. Okay,
What do
so
you-
how are you?
Good. How are you, my friend?
Crazy weather today, huh?
Oh my God! You know it's so crazy, and it was so busy so far this week. You know, I think I'm gonna pour myself a drink.
What are you doing?
Pour myself a drink. I would pour you one, but you're not here. But see, I'm pouring
Yeah,
myself.
I'm right next to you.
No, you're not. You're not.
Can't
even
you
close.
see? I'm right next to you.
You're not even. Even if you were next to me, I wouldn't share.
Or
Uh,
even I'm next to you on my computer, and I'm top of you in your computer.
Yeah, exactly. But wait,
Really?
you know what? I'm pouring in this very special glass that I have. I don't know if you can see it or not. There's a little.
I do. I say, what's engraved on it? That's nice.
It says CBMS Bookkeeping Services. Oh, I know why my lighting's not set up properly. I'm gonna give me 1 second. I'm gonna fix that.
What kind of wine is that?
It's a very special wine. And just hold on. I'm gonna shut my video off so I can. Do
Looks a
this.
little light in color.
It's very light in color.
Did you
It's
use
very
the wrong bottle?
No, it's very smooth. It's very refreshing. I drink it all the time.
And your pictures disappeared.
Let's see if this works. Well, yeah, because you know what? My engineer didn't set me up right.
No.
So I had to fix that. So let's see now. Can you see this better now? Yeah, you can see that better now, right?
It's like apple juice.
It's kind of like apple juice. It's a fine wine from Tennessee.
Fine wine from Tennessee.
Yeah,
If you
Lynchburg,
told me
Tennessee.
Paris or someplace, I would say,
No,
okay.
Lynchburg, Tennessee. But the reason, well, right? We gotta celebrate.
Whiskey from Tennessee.
Well, yeah, that's kind of what it is. But, it wouldn't be appropriate for our guest for me to be drinking whiskey, right? Because as you know, our guest is a sommelier. You know what a sommelier is? You know what that word even means?
It's a guy who makes sandwiches, right?
Yeah,
Or
kosher
it
sandwiches.
could be a
He makes
woman that makes
kosher
sandwiches too.
Yeah, it's yeah, sommelier makes kosher sandwiches. No, sommelier is an expert in wine,
In salmon.
in salmon, right? Yeah, salmon.
Salmon
So
expert.
he can tell you all the different types of wine, what goes.
I don't
with this,
believe you.
with that, all this other stuff.
Prove it to me.
I'm telling you, this guy is amazing.
Prove
He
it
is
to me.
absolutely amazing. So I'm going to introduce him now. I want to
I
welcome.
want to
to
see
the,
this guy.
I want to welcome to the show Mr. Adam Schneider, sommelier Adam Schneider, who
From where?
is the owner and operator of Sip and Say in Merrick, Long Island.
So he's
Welcome,
a sommelier that has sip and say and his whatever. Hi, Adam. Welcome.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks.
What's going on, Adam? I'm going to enjoy the wine, and I actually got this wine from Adam's store. So, it was a very nice gift basket. This particular vintage came in, that was put together by Adam, and a beautiful gift basket that was sent to me.
That's
Right,
nice.
Adam?
That's
Adam,
correct.
how did you get into this crazy business? You drank a lot of Manischewitz or what?
That's a funny story because I did actually drink a lot of Manischewitz growing up.
Me too.
I got into the wine business by walking past a liquor store when I was 19 years old, and
You
I
were
didn't have
thirsty.
a job, and I saw a help wanted sign, and I said, this seems like the job for me.
So how did you just walked in and said, give me a job? How did that
Pretty
work?
much. I said, what are you looking for? They were looking for stock and cashier at the time, and got myself a job.
Okay. So where did that lead you? How did you become a sommelier? What is entailed in becoming a sommelier? You got to go to France or something?
There's no specific curriculum, so to speak. But there are plenty of schools that offer wine studies and other alcohol studies, because it's not just about wine. It's
Where'd you
ultimately
study in the
about
Bronx?
it's ultimately about service and being knowledgeable about the product. So shortly after I started working at this store, the owner of the store, whether he remembered my age or not, slowly started to hand me wine and ask me what I thought of it. And unlike the cheap wine that my parents used to get at the Chinese restaurant that used to come for free, this was good wine, and it hit my lips, and I had never tasted something so delicious. And then I started to see sales reps come in, and I'm like, these guys are walking around tasting people on wine all day and making money. So after a little bit of research, I realized that there were some wine schools within my reach here in New York, and figured what better way to start my wine career, and who's going to take a 21-year-old or younger seriously. I better go to school for the new thing that I love.
So wait a second. So how long is that school? Is it like a couple of weeks of just sipping a little wine there and,
Pretty much.
Okay.
There's many different levels for sommelier. I just have a basic certification. I've been working the market for the last 20 years, so I haven't needed to go back to school to learn more, because I'm learning as we go. This school was, I believe, 20 weeks in Manhattan at 7:00 in the morning.
Adam, let me ask you a question. Do you wear one of those big chains around your neck with the key or whatever the hell that is that opens up the
Thankfully for
bottles?
me, I don't work in a restaurant, and that would be a
cute to
tool
wear
for
in
the
the store.
restaurant.
That would be nice in the store. Yeah, Darren, you should get Adam one of those keys.
So wait a second. What key is that? Explain to me about this key.
So it's a little, usually like a silver cup, just to be extra fancy, that sommeliers that work in restaurants use. So that way, when they come over to a customer's table and need to taste the wine, they're not walking around with a glass. They're pouring a very small amount into this necklace, so to speak, and tasting the wine to make sure it's good for the client.
Okay. All right.
Especially good during COVID when you can't wash it out and the germs pass.
Absolutely. Always better to walk around with my own glass.
So, Adam, you have an interesting story because you didn't stay in New York, right?
No. So, like many people, after Hurricane Sandy, I had a small midlife crisis and thought about where could I move without hurricanes.
Wait a second. You were like 30 years old when Sandy happened, right?
I don't know how long my life expectancy is.
How is that a midlife crisis? Because,
All
by
right,
the way,
quarter life crisis. Does that sound better?
There you go. No, just to let you know, I wanted to. I do want to say I said this to him on his birthday. The other day, Adam turned 40.
Really?
So,
Well, happy
congratulations.
birthday. How do you guys know each other in the first place?
I wandered into a store.
Or you were thirsty. You were looking for a job too.
I was looking for a job. He helped me, he gave me a job stacking shelves. No, Adam and I are actually in Latip Group. I talk about the Latip Group all the time. Him and I are in a Latip Group together, and he's actually one of my clients at this particular.
He's a client of yours?
He's a client of mine right now.
You actually really have clients?
I really do
Don't
have
say
clients.
you do?
Yeah, I do.
Oh,
and
okay, good.
and he's a very good client. He's an excellent client, and I wanted to get him on because I feel he has a really interesting story. So, Adam, I'm sorry I cut you off. Sandy happened. You had a midlife crisis. You said, "I'm packing up the car and I'm going to California."
That was it. 12 days without power gives you a lot of time to think. And I thought about what I enjoyed in life and where it would be easiest to get a job. So it was between Colorado and California.
So did you own a home at that time, or you
Nope.
just? Okay.
I was just sick and tired of being sick and tired working in New York.
Which
let me tell you that the day after Hurricane Sandy, and maybe this has something to do with it, I had a call at 9 o'clock in the morning from the liquor store that I was working at saying that I better be at work. And if I can't make it to work, they'll come and pick me up.
Really?
So not how most people would have taken that. And I knew a few days before going back to work there that I just needed to get out of New York for a little while and see the greener grass on the other side.
So how much time did you actually spend in California?
I was there for 5 years.
And what did you do when you were in California?
I didn't go out there with a job or anything. I moved to Napa, California, knowing that New York has this certain feel about it that you can go anywhere and say you're from New York. I enjoy that. So I found that same thing in California and in Napa, knowing that I could roll up into Napa, find a place to live, and stumble over a job.
Okay, and what did you do when you were out there that expanded your current situation?
First job that I had was at a small wine bar that also had a cafe. So I was behind the bar, but it was good because it honestly gave me a little bit of restaurant experience that I had never had before. And I would just run private tastings for people at their wine bar. And as I started to learn the town and learn the city and get around to different places, I was able to kind of hone what I wanted to do and kind of grow from there.
So you like getting stupid every day?
Absolutely.
By drinking whatever it was that you drank.
But only because it tastes good.
Well, it's because you had to
help the side
learn. You
effects.
had to become your salmon person, whatever you are.
Well, it's right. They say drinking wine every day is healthy for you.
Yes, they do. I don't know if my doctor feels that way when I tell him I drink 5 glasses a day instead of the 1 or 2 that's recommended, but I'm not going to let a good bottle go to waste.
See, what's great about going into Adam's store too, if you want to taste something, he's more than happy to let you taste it.
Is it just wine?
It depends on what it is, but yeah.
Is it just wine or all liquors?
No, we have all liquors as well. We're definitely more about craft brands, both on wine and spirits. Sadly, because of COVID and everything, we can't really do the same sampling that we were doing previously. But we can definitely recommend something for every palate and every price.
Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Great Neck,
Okay.
good old North Shore, Long Island.
So he grew up in Great Neck, moved to California. How long were you out in Napa?
About 5 years.
Okay.
About 5 years. It was really family that brought me back to the East Coast.
Why did they bring you back? They miss you? Or
Yeah, they miss him. They love his personality.
they needed some money? What was up?
No, he had some.
We had a passing in the family, and
I'm sorry.
that's our, left some people who missed loving me on a daily basis.
Yeah, so like every situation that changes, and we find with a lot of our guests, something happened within his life that made him change this. So now you're back in New York. How do you come about owning Sip and Say?
Well, when I was toying around with moving back, thinking about it, calls from the family. The same week, I got a call from an old boss, and he was planning to open up a store out here, and all he could think about was me for managing his store. So I said, okay, I've got a job. I've got reason to come back. Let's move back. So I moved back in 2018, maybe 2017. Took a job with this person out in Suffolk County, and just like every other liquor store job that I've ever had in my life, I was lied to left and right.
Oh my gosh.
Can you believe it? An owner in here in New York that lies to their employees.
Unbelievable.
It's amazing, right? It's amazing on that.
Never happened before.
You want to give out his name and the store that he owns?
Sure. It's
Let's make it. No. I'm talking about the guy that lied to him.
all right.
Karma,
Let's see if we
Karma
can make
already
that
got
guy's
the best
day.
of him. Karma already got the best of him, so we'll just leave it at that.
All right. It just gave you the opportunity. That's all.
He gave me a great opportunity to make a store and make a boutique store, and I ended up just being the highest paid cashier on Long Island.
There you go. Now, that's not a bad thing. Maybe in the highest paid,
It wasn't, but to go to work every day and sit at the register and do what cashiers do, that was not for me. That's not why I moved back from beautiful Napa, California, to be back in the central Suffolk County, ringing people up all day.
So what made you okay, so now how long are you back before this opportunity for Sip and Say comes up?
I've always had a dream of owning my own store ever since my first liquor store job at 19 and 20. As any young, cocky teenager, I knew I could do things better. So I would say the idea of Sip and Say got together probably about 10 or 11 months after I was back in New York. I reached out to family, said, listen, I'm seriously thinking about moving back to California. I hate it here. Unless together as a family, we can get something together and we can make my dream of owning a store come true. And then I'm here in New York to stay.
And it really is, Sip and Say really is a family venture, right? Because you got your
certainly
sister.
is. My sister is my partner currently. My mother is here almost on a daily basis, as well as my wife on the weekends.
Well, that must make for a wonderful relationship.
Most of the time,
Family in business with family. Perfect. That
No,
would make me want to go back to any place. When did you guys meet?
Darren and I?
Yes.
I don't know. When did you join Le Tip?
2 years ago?
It was December of 18.
So,
Yeah,
year and a
December
half.
of 18 we met.
wow, it was really about the same time then.
Yeah, you were in the group just a short time and I came in.
So then Darren is what helped make you the man and business that you are today. Is that
No,
right?
actually, I just became his accountant this year.
Oh, so you made it even bigger.
So yeah,
He
we
did
made
make it even bigger. He showed us everything we were missing in accounting and business services.
Darren, I'm trying to give you a plug here. Play with me.
I know you're trying to give me a plug, but you know how I don't like that stuff. So
Oh, tough shit. I'm
I
doing
don't
it
like
anyway.
taking my own comment, you know. so we got John from Hazlitt's on tonight.
Hey, John, we were talking about you.
Yeah, and one of the unique things about Sip and Say, and when you open the store, you opened it differently, right? You're doing something that not a lot of liquor stores do.
Correct.
All right, so tell us about that and what you do there.
So besides from carrying a curated selection here at the store, based on my experience and my expertise, I knew that we needed a niche because on every block there's another liquor store. How are you
Right.
going to be different? It's one thing to separate yourself from different products that you carry, but that doesn't really bring in the masses to want to shop at your establishment. So over the years, and it's actually been about 10 years ago, I learned all about bottle and glass engraving and knew that this was always kind of the secret sauce for making a liquor store or wine shop work. And we now offer free bottle engraving with every purchase.
Right, and if you know,
Do you do it in your store?
Yes, we do. It often takes 5 to 10 minutes to complete. So we do it usually while people are waiting, or you can order via our website, sipsay.com, and we'll have it ready for you or deliver it to you.
I have to ask you a question. And this has to do, Darren, you're going to kick out of this one. We had a gentleman on the show, I guess about a year or so ago, who has a winery.
Yeah.
And he brought us a whole bunch of wines or whatever. And during the course of the conversation, he used the word pundulation. Do you have
That's
any
a big
idea?
word.
Yeah.
It's a big
What?
word.
And he's a winery. So who better to know what that means but you? What the hell is pundulation?
I would have to Google that.
Okay.
Yeah, he
No,
mentioned
just-
there's many
just asking.
undulations in their fields, and it kind of
Well,
just
what does it
threw us
mean?
all off. But we're not
I gotta
gonna
look it up.
Go ahead, look it up, Norm.
I'm gonna look it up.
And that really, you're getting back to what we were talking about. The engraving really has drawn a lot of people in, right?
Yes, it has.
People are coming there just for the engraving. As a matter of fact, last Christmas, I actually gave out to my clients wine, and it says Happy Holidays from CBMS Consulting Services on it, and he did a great job with that. But I also got, John from Hazlitt, as you know, I still have that ball that he bought from Les, all right, which is probably worth like, $3 million now. So
It is now, right?
It is now. He'll never get that sucker back. But I also bought him wine that Adam would probably never stock, but was stocked in the store when he bought it.
Yeah.
Right. So, it probably tastes as well as the team does. So,
All right,
But
I have the definition of pundulation.
well, hold on now. Let me finish my
Okay.
story and we'll get to your pundulation. All right. If you notice, and Adam was a little reluctant at first to actually inscribe this on the bottle, but Norm, can you read what that says?
I could if you raised the bottle a little bit. It
How's
said something dumbass.
It says Happy Holidays,
Happy
dumbass.
holidays, dumbass.
And this is actually a bottle of wine from my cousin John over in Hazlitt. So as soon as I see him, he's going to get that.
Speaking of calling somebody a dumbass,
All right. So what
the
is pundulation?
definition of pundulation, as it says on Google in the Urban Dictionary. Here it comes. The jiggling of buttocks when spanked and thrusted upon. The pundulation of her
I don't think Fred was referring to the
So what do you think?
jiggling
I
of
mean-
buttocks when he mentioned pundulations.
But that's
for
what
his-
it says.
his
I
winery.
don't get it. But
Well, you look up pundulations for wineries.
okay.
You knucklehead.
Adam,
Sounds
we
like
have
you
a
need
good
to get
we
him
have a
back
good
on the
time here.
show and ask him.
Adam, where is your store and what is your phone number? And are you online? Do you take online orders? Tell us.
So we're located in Merrick at 2067 Merrick Road. We're directly across the street from the pet store Mutts and Butts. That's a
Well,
fun
speaking
one.
of
They've been there for 45 years. So we're in a good position right in the center of town. Everyone can find us because everyone knows that pet store. Phone number is 516-992-8111. We are online at sipsay.com. We have a full functioning website, so you can order online. We'll happy to deliver it to you, or you can come and pick it up.
And
It's actually a new website that we just built right on the beginning days before the COVID shutdown happened.
How'd you come up with your name?
Actually, my sister, my partner, woke up one morning and just had the name ready to go.
So
We loved it.
I guess if you sip a lot, you really can't say anything.
Well, no, that's not true. You
The,
sip.
Or you
The
say
idea
more.
I become very chatty after sipping quite a bit.
The idea behind the name was that the sip was going to be the free samples that we were going to be giving out because we have a pre-COVID, a try before you buy mantra. And the say would be the bottle engraving. So sip what you'd like, say what you mean.
Do you have
and
a
that's
special
sip and say.
wine that people come in and ask for? Because you may be the only supplier of it or such. Is there anything special in the store?
We have a lot of special things, more of what you would find in a Brooklyn or a Manhattan wine shop, rather than a Long Island wine shop. Most of the stores out here all seem to carry the same products. We really take a focus on trying to get people to drink healthier. So a lot of our wines don't have any of the additives or fillers or any of the other artificial flavoring that you often find in some of the commercially produced brands. We taste everything that comes in. We can discuss and share what wines are going to taste like with consumers and really take the education up a notch.
I'm not a connoisseur of wine by any stretch of the imagination. I don't like strong liquors. If I were to come into the store and say I would like something, and I like my wine cold, I don't like it room temperature. So
Do you like it
I'm
by
not
the
your
box?
average. I'm sorry?
Do you like it by the box?
I used to like it by the box. Also, there was a thing called, I think it was Tango back in the day, or whatever it was. It was like a screwdriver that came in a bottle, and they used to call it a wine. It was a very popular wine back in the day. It was the kind of thing you could buy for 99 cents, like a gallon.
Those would not find home in my store.
No. So what would you recommend to me? Something fruity that would be good chilled and that I can come in tomorrow to Merrick and buy a bottle of wine.
If you enjoy drinking whites, we definitely have wines like Chenin Blancs or nice white blend that wouldn't be too dry, wouldn't be too acidic, easy drinking for even the simplest palates, or even lighter red wines would work. You can certainly put a chill on it. We're not ones to, put any stigma on how you want to enjoy your beverage when you get home. If you want to put a chill on it and it's how you enjoy it more, then that's what matters.
Why are
Better
you
to
telling
have
me
you
my
drinking
palate
than
is
not
simple?
drinking.
Why are you
What's that?
telling me my palate is simple?
Because it
I
is.
don't,
I
have a
don't know
simple
that yet.
palate. I might.
I
be
don't know
simple,
that
but-
yet, but honestly, at the end of the day, we all just want to get home, drink something that's going to be delicious, and enjoy
feel
our
good.
evening or our day.
Right.
Yeah, but you know what? Adam nailed you. You're a simple guy. You like
I'm a kid from the Bronx.
he can tell. See, that's a sommelier for you. He can tell just by talking to you that you're a simple wine guy. you're not going to come in and, you know,
Especially since I told him that. Yes, he's very good at it.
And it's the same reason that Darren's drinking Jack out of a
Exactly.
fancy glass, because that's what he enjoys to drink, and that's what matters.
And it comes out of a wine bottle.
I got and that's the other thing too, and especially around the holidays and special occasions and things like that. A lot of people, they go for, hey, you know what? I'll send flowers or I'll send a fruit basket or anything like that. Adam puts together fantastic baskets. If you remember, Norm, last year at Irene's
Yes.
fundraiser, I had
Yes.
a basket, right, with glasses engraved and wine bottles and that. I got that from Adam's store.
Nice.
You know, and he put the basket together. It was a very beautiful thing, and we actually had a lot of people bid on it that night.
By the way, Eileen's doing another one of those events, isn't she? A
Yes.
comedy show?
It's a comedy show, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. She is doing a comedy show, so
yeah.
Uh,
we're both going to it.
and actually, it is in Merrick, isn't it? It's at Governor's of Merrick.
Governors, I believe. Yeah,
Yeah, so you know,
on
we'll
Merrick
have-
Road, I think.
Merrick Road. If they bring us back up on stage, we'll have to tell everybody to go down the street to Sip and Say.
That's right, right around the corner.
Right.
Actually,
right.
Adam, you should come and bring business cards.
Absolutely.
You got people in your neighborhood.
Yeah, but getting back to it, so Adam, you know, his first year or so in business was a very traditional liquor store with the ebbs and flows of the business when busy seasons and things like that and the holiday time. But he was an innovator in the sense that even though COVID was just hitting, he knew he had to do something different. And that's when he started designing, and he was actually working with our friend on that too, right? Who helped
Not
out.
init- I'll be honest, not initially.
But
In my 20 years of experience, and I like to consider myself as a jack of all trades, you know, master of none. I'm good with computers. I'm good with websites, all things that I've done for other employers that I've worked for over the years. So as COVID was slowly inching upon us in the beginning of March, I had originally just had a website that said who we were, come visit us, with some samples of some of the things that we did. And knowing where I kind of prophesized for where COVID was going to be taking everybody and the state of the world that was going to be coming upon us, I actually threw together an e-commerce website in about 3 days.
I remember because I was actually in the store when you were doing that, and you were telling me about it, and I'm like, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. And he goes, I'm not only going to do that, I'm going to deliver. And I'm
Yep.
like, oh, that's interesting. And he's actually had better numbers during the COVID period than he has during his normal busy season, because I guess everybody being home.
Busy season like Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we were always pretty busy in the summertime, and of course the holidays at the end of the year. But COVID with the new website and more people at home and more people looking to kill time while they were quarantined at home. There were definitely people out there looking to purchase and of course not looking to go anywhere. So this is more of where I got the help from some of the other gentlemen in our LaTip group that are really good at SEO and social marketing. And we got this website out there, and first of all, just servicing people and getting out just wine and liquor to people. But then even as the weeks went by, I said, listen, we're not engraving anymore. I need to get out to all of these people that we engrave as well, because people shouldn't miss special occasions for family and friends just because everybody's locked at home. So it was certainly by taking on the delivery and stretching it out to many of the points all across the island here, and even beyond the island into Brooklyn, Queens, Westchester. We are certainly not only making a name for ourselves as a store, but definitely a place where you can pick up gifts for birthdays, engagements, anniversaries, anything else that pops up.
Do you have a sales staff that goes outside and sells for you?
No, that's the beauty of social networking.
Well,
I don't have to leave the store or my couch, and
you
people
don't
come to
have
me.
to, but You don't have to, but if you hit some major buildings like the RXR building and such at certain times
Well,
during the
there's-
course of the year, you're
Yeah, but
bound
there's
to get a
nobody-
lot of business.
There's nobody really in the buildings right now. So,
Well,
you
I'm talking
know-
about now. I'm just saying in general, when things come back.
yeah, when
I
things
think-
come back, yeah, that'll be something that I'm sure Adam will address at that particular point.
Right.
But you know what my whole thing is that a lot of businesses who actually had to shut down and close their doors, you know, because of what Adam did, and what Adam did was because his retail shop wasn't even supposed, you know, wasn't allowed to bring people in. It was curbside pickup, right, Adam?
Yep.
And it was delivery. So
We brought the store to the customer.
he brought the store to the customer. He did an amazing job in seeing an opportunity and taking advantage of it, especially with everybody staying home. They're like, hey, you know what, you know, I want to, you know, get a couple of little sips here and there during the day.
Do you have national traffic?
We are just starting to open up our SEO to gain some national traffic. We were hyper local for the last 3 to 4 months. As we're starting to see certain of those numbers, especially with people going back to work and going back to bars, we're starting to open up more of our shopping experience for the national market.
Through Darren, you may want to ask Darren what I do and how I could possibly help you with this new venture that I have, because we're looking for people like you. So you may want to talk to him about it.
Oh, you're not just a music man?
That's it.
Well, I
that's-
am the
that's
music
all
man, but
part of
it's,
the music man thing. And
it's
Adam,
tied in. It's tied into the music.
so Adam, just to let you know, Norm is also in the SEO circle at your end.
Okay.
All right, so he works with those people also.
And if you speak to that person, I got the biggest turnout ever that he's had. Speak to him.
Absolutely.
That's a conversation for another day, my friend.
Anything for more traffic.
Well, and that's what it's all about, right? It's about taking care of the opportunity, getting it there. So one of the things, and I talked about Adam putting together, you know, very nice gift baskets and that. We have a mutual friend that actually bought me a gift basket, which showed up on my door one day. It was actually delivered all the way out to me from Merrick. And I want to thank actually Dawn, his sister, drove it all the way out to me. He put together a variety. And I want to ask you this, Adam. Was it you who said, this is what he's going to like, and you put the basket together? Or did John say, hey, you know what, this is what I want to get him?
Nope. Everyone leaves that up to me.
So right. So he said, okay, what does he like? And I am a visitor to his store. And that was funny because I was just there, not even a week before that, right? Buying stuff. And I got 13 bottles of Jack Daniels, different types.
Whoa!
Yeah. And
No wonder you are the way you are.
and I think there was 11 different flavors.
Yeah, we picked out pretty much all of the different Jack products that Jack Daniels makes, and figured if we gave that to you, that should hold you over for a week or two.
What flavors? What 11 flavors does Jack make?
Well, here's you got a bunch of different ones. You know, obviously the original, right? The old number 7, right?
Yeah, you had the Gentleman Jack, which is their next level up.
Right.
The single barrel, which is the level above that. I believe there was a master distiller bottle, which is a special bottling that they do every year to kind of mimic the original blend of Jack Daniels.
All right.
They also make a green label, which originally was kind of their subpar spirit that they used to keep in casks on the outer sides of their warehouse. So it would feel a little bit more on the weather changes, and just Jack Daniels for a while, that was a special edition that you could only buy at the distillery. They now make enough of it to supply the country, or at least New York. And then of course there's the flavors like the honey and winter Jack for winter time, and Jack Fire, and all sorts of other
apple.
interesting things. And the apple, yes, the apple's brand new.
Yeah, that's Apple's brand new, and actually Adam stocks it just for me. So, you know, he makes sure that it's in the store because I love the apple.
Darren,
And
what's your favorite flavor?
you know what? It really depends on my mood. It really does. And I actually have a bottle of the Sinatra Jack that a client bought me last year. That is, you know, it was made for Frank Sinatra, in honor of Frank Sinatra. And it's an older aged Jack, and it's very smooth, very, very smooth. You know, so I basically have the whole thing, you know, and I think I told you this, Adam, I'm a Tennessee Squire. And for those of you who don't know, Jack Daniels has a program where you can get nominated to be a Tennessee Squire by another Tennessee Squire. And they actually give you an undeeded plot of land on the distillery. So I am actually a landowner in Tennessee. So,
how much did you have to drink to do that?
you don't have to drink anything. You have to have another Tennessee Squire actually nominate you and give reasons why you're worthy of that. And then
So what were your reasons why you were worried?
well, it was a buddy of mine in the Civil Air Patrol, all right, who is a Tennessee Squire, who's actually a retired full bird colonel out of the Army. And he made the request as the retired colonel from the Army. So the letter came very officially from, you know, Colonel Bernfeld nominated you, and because of your dedication to your community and all this other stuff, you know, we're going to accept you into this. So that was, yeah, it was very nice. Very nice. I actually have it framed and everything. I don't have it with me right now, but you know,
That's a very nice punctuation.
it's but hey, you know what? Getting back to your tango, my friend, John from Hazlitt says, and he put it out right away. I just didn't jump on it, but tango is a tangerine-based wine. So why would you make tangerine-based wine? What is that all about?
The question
That's
is
why it was so cheap.
Why hasn't it lasted? What happened where someone said, you know, these tangerines are really great, but I kind of see grapes taking off. We can't produce enough tangerines. People are peeling and eating them now. I want to know the story of why they decided to stop producing.
Me too. It was such a big seller. There was a lot of alcohol in it because you wouldn't be driving anytime. What's that?
I said the fruit, if you had real fruit in there, that would actually create more of a gestation.
It was a very popular
the pundulations of the fruit.
Pundulation.
Right on the shelf next to Boone's Farm, right?
Actually, right next to it.
What's your most popular selling wine right now?
It's rosé season right now. We've got a delicious rosé called Adam's. Go figure. It's a Pinot Grigio rosé, and it is one of our personally absolute favorites, and customers have been loving it.
Okay, so let me ask a question. I'm going to ask Norman this question. Norm, did you know it was rosé season?
Absolutely not.
I have no freaking. Who the hell knows when it's rosé season? No.
If you're a salmon guy, wine. You know.
So wait a second. Are they coincide with the weather seasons?
Yes. Most rosés sold Labor Day to Memorial Day. Other way around, Memorial Day to Labor Day.
Okay.
For many years, that's just how it was. Enough people have enjoyed rosé over the last few years that it's now something that people do enjoy all year round, but most of it gets consumed during the warmer months.
Okay, so what happens after Labor Day?
You stop wearing white, but you can keep drinking rosé.
You can keep drinking rosé, but I mean, what's the season after Labor Day? Is that white season?
That's back to school season, so you're drinking more of everything else.
There you go.
Especially this coming year. I'm expecting parents to be loading up come September.
Well, I think what's going to happen is you're going to get a lot of schools open up and close back down, and these parents are going to have to stay home with their kids, which is probably a factor into why you're doing so well.
The best way to teach history or spelling is with a glass of wine in your hand.
A bottle of wine in your hand.
Yes. Trying to set a good example for the kids.
And an engraved glass, a monogram
Oh,
glass.
it's an 80s thing. So John says that the Tango, whatever the hell it was, he said it was horrible and it was an 80s thing. So
Okay.
basically John drank it when he was at an age where that's the only thing he could get his hands on because he wasn't
We
old
drank
enough.
you drank it to get shit-faced. That was
Right.
the purpose. It wasn't because it tasted good. It was the effect that it would do on you. That's
Those
what it
would
was.
be my Manischewitz days.
Exactly. It'll be around the same time.
So it's basically on that level then, right? It's like that Manischewitz.
No. Manischewitz was better, believe it or not. I like cherry Manischewitz. That's good.
So let me ask you this. Let's talk about the liquor part of it. Because people don't realize, you know, you have a wine, you have a great wine selection. If you go into the store, you know, it's a tremendous amount of wine. And it really is. If you walk around his store, you're sitting there going, how do I know what to pick, what not to pick? That's what's great about having Adam as a sommelier there, because I've done this, right, Adam, where I've said, you know what, Michelle wants, she's a chef and she likes this type of wine. What do you suggest? You know, and he gave me a couple of suggestions and she loved what, you know, I brought home, and it was good for her. But you know, not because I'm not a wine guy. I'm not a wine guy. And I think a lot of people aren't. And to walk in and see, you know, 100 different choices of different wines, what do you do?
Well, I try to be non-pretentious, and that's the first thing. Wine for many years has this stigma about it where you really have to know to enjoy it. And so I try to take that away and make people comfortable, not only when they come into the store, but talking with me, and make sure that they're going to be comfortable walking away with a certain bottle, whether it's something new or a different style or a different label, since we don't necessarily carry the run-of-the-mill brands. So it's up until now, most stores care about customer service, but one of the major things that I picked up when I was on the West Coast was hospitality. Mm-hmm. Which is not just servicing a customer, it's making a customer feel so comfortable and so happy and educated with the purchase that they're about to make that, you know, at the end of the day, my favorite wine description is, here, take this, you're going to love it. Because when they get home, they're not going to remember what the flavors were or what it was going to taste like. They're going to say, honey, the guy at the store said I was going to love this.
Right.
And if they don't love it, then what do you do?
I've never had anyone come back. Everybody comes back for a second bottle, or a third bottle, which is what we're here for. And I tell people that all the time. I'm not here to sell you something for once. I'm here to create a relationship with you and work with you for the years.
Question for you. As Darren just said, Michelle is a chef. I would like to know, what is the difference between a cooking wine and a regular wine?
In my mind, there's no such thing as a cooking wine, because if you won't drink it, don't cook with it.
Well,
just
you know,
like
if
if you were to buy ingredients at your store, if the meat that you're buying is subpar, are you going to cook with it? Probably not.
If you go into the
wine should be treated the same.
If you go into the supermarket, you go into the baking aisle or a special aisle, there's a company called Holland House. They have an assortment of cooking wines in the supermarket. So what you're saying, you're able to drink those wines. If you can't drink those wines, you shouldn't cook with them?
Correct.
Gotcha.
Most of the wines, technically, wine is not allowed to be sold in supermarkets here in New York State.
So that might not really be cooking wine.
They do have, there's a brand, Chateau Diana, and a couple other brands that are a little bit lower in alcohol for where those wines would normally be placed, which would, there's some, I guess, thing that New York State allowed certain brands, if they're low enough in alcohol, to be allowed to be sold in supermarkets. But for the most part, anything decent that you're going to find here in the state of New York has to be purchased from me or
Darren,
another liquor store.
Just to let you know, a few weeks ago, right? We ran out of cooking wine. And, you know, she was cooking and I saw that she ran out of cooking wine. And I said, you need more cooking wine? And she said, yeah. I said, well, I'm going to be in the area. I'll stop and I'll get cooking wine from Adam. And she said, okay, this is what I want. And I went in and I said, Adam, need cooking wine. He pointed it out. I bought a case of it, brought it home. She was happy.
Of course, I don't see it as cooking wine. I see it as just a well-priced wine that you can use for cooking, or you can use it for drinking, or serve it to your mother-in-law. Everybody will be happy.
That's the point, right? Because when she cooks, and the first thing Adam said out of his mouth when I said, I need a wine that she can cook with, he goes, oh, you must eat well. I said, yeah, I do. That's why I'm as heavy as I am. But, you know, but like Adam said, yeah, it's one of those things where, yeah, she'll have a glass as she's cooking and you know, and doing that thing. So
Adam,
it's all about your ingredients.
do you ever do any lectures or talks?
Pre-COVID, I used to do some private tastings for people. I'm not sure in today's day and age where that takes me for things like this. I enjoy it, but at the same time, just want to get together and drink a bottle.
I think you should put on your post-COVID list of things to do to promote. You should speak to your business consultant and maybe arrange some sort of in the library or such, a lecture and to speak to. I think you would do very, very well in getting some new clients. Shake your head, Darren. Go ahead.
It's good advice. It's good advice. But to what something Darren was saying earlier, the store does carry a full line of spirits as well. We have a lot of the name brands, but at the same time, since we're focused more on craft brands, I'm here to also help steer you away from some of those brands that kind of just sit on the shelf, or they sit in your cellar, and really take you onto new flavors and new tastes, and often for less money than some of the brand names.
And just to point something out, we were talking about loyalty and having a customer for life. Actually, Bobby Godsill from our Latip group made a comment, you know, great business ethics. A customer for life is more valuable than a quick buck.
Yep, 100%.
And that's without a doubt, right? We want our clients for life. We want it. And as Adam mentions all the time, you know, it becomes like family. When you have that relationship with your clients, it becomes like family. And, you know, when I walk into his store, I always feel like I'm part of the family. You know,
I can't say some of my customers love it when I answer the phone and I say, hey, and their name.
Right.
But at the end of the day, they're coming back to me because they know that I'm going to do right by them.
And that's what it's all about.
So Adam, you know, I kind of said that the hour was going to fly before, right? And we're coming to the end of it already, believe it or not. So
time flies when you're having fun.
Again, how do people come to your store, get in touch with you, order stuff and you have it shipped? How do you do all of that? Where do they go? Where do they go to do that?
All the information, the simplest way is at sipsay.com, 6 letters, SIPSAY.com. All of the information about the store, our hours, people that want to come into the store and place an order or purchase something, or for people that want to just do it online and have us deliver. All of that information can be found at sipsay.com.
Excellent. You know, Adam, is there anything else you want to tell us about? Now, I know you're a cat lover. Right?
Yes.
So, now, that's one of the things that you do outside of it. And this COVID thing, Adam was actually for a long time, because his sister has young kids and stuff like that, couldn't come into the store. So Adam actually was working 7 days a week for what, like 3 months?
I am still working about 7 days a week. I would say in the last, how many months is it since March? 4 or 5. Anyway, 4 or 5 months. I've had about, I don't know, maybe 12 days off in all of that time. But I love what I do, and I love coming to work, and I love talking about wine and drinking wine at work. So it's a fun place to be.
Sounds like it.
And I can tell you, just not because you're one of my clients, Adam, and I'm saying this from the bottom of my heart, is that, yeah, it is a great experience because, like I said, I've been going to Adam's store since pretty much I started with Latip, and I always felt welcome coming in, and always felt comfortable that he was going to steer me in the right direction. So if you're looking for something, even on the alcohol side, on the liquor side, on, if it's whiskey or scotch or bourbon, he can, and he's knowledgeable about all this stuff, right?
Adam, did you ever think about expanding and opening another store, maybe in Suffolk County?
Well, New York has my hands tied behind the back there. We are only allowed one store in the state of New York.
Really?
Anybody else that does it illegally and does it behind the back of the State Liquor Association.
I never knew that.
So while franchise or second store is a great idea, it's so much better. We're a destination store here in Merrick. It is worth the drive out to us. You will definitely learn something. My 20 years of experience, I know the brands, I know what you're drinking. I know how to get you into a better bottle, usually for less money.
Good stuff. Well, it's a pleasure having you on the show today. Learned a little bit.
This was great. I've been looking forward to this for maybe a year. Darren, when I asked him about it, said, nope, we're booked up. I've got someone every week for the next.
And that's what, yeah,
he wasn't kidding you.
No, it was last summer. He came to me and said, I want to be on the show. And I'm like, we're booked. I said, you got to wait until next year and we'll get you in. And now we're able to do that.
We have people that come on January, February that also book in November and December.
Well, they were booked. And when he came to me in January, he said, I want to come on. I said, we're booked. And I go, the earliest we can get you in is like August. Because you remember, we like gangbusters in the beginning of the year, we had it all booked out.
That's great. Hey, I said after my 40th birthday, let's do it. I'm ready to talk on the podcast now.
There you go. You did a great job, Adam. We really.
No, you did really, really good. In fact, you did so good. With no joking. You should really think about coming back in November or so and get the holiday traffic.
I would love that. If you guys are willing to have me, I'm absolutely down to be back. This was a lot of good fun.
We have to renegotiate the price on that, but yeah, we can work that out.
All right.
Drop off a couple bottles. Everybody's happy.
There you go.
So Adam, one quick question from John from Hazlitt. He wants to know what an alternate of Jack Daniels would be.
There's a lot of really great American whiskeys right now. Of course, bourbons are really what's popular, which is American whiskey. But there's a lot of between bourbon and rye.
Can I jump in real quick? Tell us
Sure.
why bourbon is American whiskey.
Well, it is.
I know
made from the majority of corn, which is America's grain, and it's done without any bit of artificial flavoring or artificial coloring. It is the only spirit made here in the United States that nobody else can replicate in the rest of the world.
And the thing is, by law, it has to be made in the United States, correct?
Yes. I mean, there's certainly, people that try to do different styles of whiskey elsewhere, but bourbon is the true American spirit. And so bourbon producers who also make rye, which just means the ingredients change up slightly, often make an American whiskey, which is meant to stylize or go after your Tennessee whiskey folks down in Lynchburg.
I gotcha. All right, Adam. Well, again, thanks for being on. Again, sipandsay.com. If you want to get a hold of Adam, please do that. Adam, thanks for being on
Remember,
the show.
Darren, it's just 6 letters, SIPSAY.com, sipsay.com.
Sipsay.com. We want to thank you for being on.
Great job.
And wow, I had the share on the whole time. So people were actually looking at the screen. So anyway, we're live, we're on, we're good. Everything went well. Adam, thanks again for being on.
Thanks for having me. This was great.
All right.
Thank you, Adam. Great job.
And
Thank you.
We'll talk to you soon, my friend.
Thank you so much.
What a great show, huh?
Yeah, that was really nice. Very informative. Nice guy,
Yeah.
outgoing, personable.
Yeah. Yeah, no, a very good guy.
I would visit him.
Him,
I
his
don't-
sister, his mom, all great people.
if I'm
I
in
love
Nassau
working with-
County, I would certainly go there.
Yeah, and it's right down the road from where Eileen's going to have her comedy show.
Actually, I was right there today, this morning.
Oh yeah. All
Yeah.
right. Excellent.
Cool.
Excellent. So, like I said, it's all a good thing. What do you got coming up? You got another concert, right?
Yeah, we got a show on September 5th. And what's happening is that the word is getting out already about the amount of people that we've had that have viewed the shows. And we signed a deal with American Cancer Society. I have another organization that I have a meeting with next week that have divisions throughout the United States. And what he's looking to do is to put them together. And you see, this is altogether different. This is not like doing a show in Huntington.
Right.
You know, I mean, we have the world's population to reach into us. And it's interesting that you asked, because I did a little research today, because we're making this whole email marketing profile to get out there. There are 1.36 million people in Nassau County. There are 1.5 million people in Suffolk County. There's 7 billion people in the world and 325 million people in the United States. And we're going to worry about selling 600 or 700 tickets.
There you
You
go.
know, and that's where this is going. So it's the same cost.
It's exciting.
It's crazy.
It's
It's
exciting.
crazy.
I'm happy
Yeah.
for you. I'm happy
That's
for
good.
you. That's
So
going
we'll
out.
see.
All right. So listen, one of the things we're actually going to be after tonight, you're going to be able to hear the Business Power Hour on iTunes and Google
Really?
Podcasts and all that other stuff. Yeah. So this show is actually going to be the first one that's going to be put up on there. So you can find the Business Power Hour with Darren and the Music Man on Apple iTunes and, Apple Podcasts and all of that stuff. So
That's good. I'm sure we're going to be
Excited about
sending out an email flyer about that to everybody.
if we can get somebody who can do that,
Yeah, I think we have someone in mind.
we got somebody, even if he's listening to the show. So
He
Anyway,
better be listening. He owes me a phone call, and I'm going to call him now. So
we want
that's
to
it.
thank everybody for tuning in tonight. We'll see you
As always, we thank you.
same
every-
time, same bad channel, Wednesday night at 7 p.m. And, again, everybody be safe, do everything the right way, stay safe for COVID-19.
Everybody be safe, be happy, have a wonderful weekend. It's supposed to be a great weather this weekend, and enjoy it. And we'll see you all next week. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.